Storm rolling in. I decided to try not to try to be fancy anymore and just get them off. Look at that little baby rotor. So tiny. Honestly, it could use a set of rotors. I might price some rotors for it. That brake hose is a little cracked too. Other than that, it's really clean in there. Yeah, we got a good storm going. Got some flood warnings, so hopefully it doesn't blow into the shop. I like it. You probably can't see the lightning on camera, but got my eBay radiator in. Pop it open, see if it's the right one. We will hope so. I think it was 65 bucks with free shipping. I think. I'm not looking forward to taking the radiator out of this thing, honestly. What a little guy. Well, it looks correct. It's got the long neck on it, and the hoses are in the right spots. Should be correct. I guess we'll go ahead and get the other one out. Well, I guess we should get the bubble wrap off of this thing to make sure it hasn't been damaged in shipping, which it looks like it was packaged fine. There's no damage on the box, so I'm not that concerned with it, but before we get the other one out. Oh, I don't see any vent fins. I guess that's the transmission line. We don't need those. No, it looks fine. I guess we'll go ahead and get the old one out. Yep. Cool. Let's go drain the old one and get it out. I got it. Wasn't fun. How many quarts does this thing take, I wonder? Who knows? Probably 4 or 5, I don't know. Dang it. The petcock is right here. I got a bucket underneath, so I don't know how much we'll catch, but let's hope we get lucky. Not exactly a good flow. Maybe if we take the radiator cap off. There we go. Well, it wasn't that good. It drains right onto that control arm right there. Whatever, it's working. I'm not sure exactly what has to come apart to make this happen. I don't know that you've got to separate the fan from the radiator or not. I assume you probably do, but if you don't, that'd be cool. Oh yeah, I need my adapter. So, we'll see. See what happens here. I'm just going into this blind. I wish I had the manual for this car. I used to have the manual for the tempos. It was in the 4-door tempo I had a long time ago. I'm sure at some point in my life I threw it away. Now, it fell on top of the radiator at least. I've got plenty of clips. I think I'll put a clip in that because I don't want to go through this ever again. Yeah, it looks like there's enough room to pull the radiator up out of here, but I got to get this top hose. These are the original radiator hoses. I need to get hoses. So I'll put this back together today. I meant to order hoses, but I guess I forgot. But I'll put this back together today, and I'll just fill it with water. But I'm going to order hoses immediately because that's a Motorcraft hose. That is a Motorcraft upper hose. I doubt it's ever been replaced, so we'll have to get some hoses. These are great. These are hose clamp pliers. They work really good. I'm going to film both ends of this so you guys can see how they work. If you don't have them and you work on cars fairly often, I highly recommend them because they will hold the pressure on the clamp. So you squeeze up here and I'm doing this with one hand, and it puts the pressure. So you squeeze up here and it opens that clamp up, but it'll hold pressure because the pliers themselves will lock. So you squeeze, the pliers are locked, clamp is off and free. Then you can pull the hose off, hopefully. Yep. And there we go. I can put the pressure back on the clamp now because it's free. It's just that simple. It's really good for stuff that's way back in the back of the engine, heater core hoses, stuff like that. So this is free now. Get this hose out of the way. All right. Yeah, somebody's been in here before. I gotta be careful because I don't want to destroy the new radiator when I'm putting this fan back in. You know? Yeah, you could see. Okay, there's a little thing on the bottom of the fan that clips in. Maybe that makes it easier to clear everything going down. I should get some wire to pull this thing back and hold it out of my way. Let me do that. Let me pull this out of my way. I saw the plug unhooked over here. I was like, what is that? And then I realized it's the fan plug that you just unplugged. There we go. That looks like it gives us plenty of space. Now let me get this lower radiator hose clamp off. And we'll get this radiator pulled up out of here. Right down there on the motor mount, up and over to the hood hinge. Pulls everything up out of the way. The lower hose is free, and it is old. This has taken me probably 20 minutes, and I'll cut it down to probably 2 minutes. I think pulling the alternator would be a good thing too, because it's tight. Yeah, I think pulling the alternator would be smart. Yeah, the whole side of this radiator is very cruddy. Some case some case seal probably would have done it, but I don't want to do that to this car. I like this car. That's scary. We're almost dropped in. So straight down's the way to go. There it is. There it is. Okay, radiator is plopped in where it's supposed to sit now. What a nightmare. Cool. There's not a whole lot left to do. Hook up this upper radiator hose, plug in the fan and top it off. And we have got our radiator. Then we gotta put the drain plug back in for the oil and fill it up with oil. That's pretty important, I'd say. So, get this out of the way. The trusty ratchet strap. Perfect. Got that. Fan plugged back in. There we go. I think everything's done. Radiator's installed. Cool. Now we just got to top it off, let it run. Let's go ahead and finish up the oil change. I'll do that, top it off, we'll get it back on the road. I think you guys are probably done seeing this. I almost completely forgot. I bought a new old stock trunk key assembly, trunk lock assembly. So it shouldn't take me but a second to pop that in real quick. Let's go ahead and do it. We'll get some touch-up paint and touch up all the chips around it. There we go. It's just a regular style. Yep, it's a regular style clip, like an old car would have. So let me get something to pop the clip out. That's better. We'll just go ahead and dab this in with what we got. There. It's a little more presentable. I mean, they had to leave clearance for the wheel weights, I would think. They were definitely using these wheel weights then. Gonna do a quick rinse on this, get the pollen off of it and the dust off of it. I'm gonna clean the windows up a little bit, and we are gonna hit the road on an old-fashioned 90s style family vacation. Because this is what you would have did in 1994 when this car was new. You would have hopped in the car and you would have went for a drive through the mountains with your family to a state park. But unlike your parents, I'll let you get something at the gift shop. How's that sound? Well, today's the day. What we're gonna do today is I'm gonna wash the car a little bit real quick, and then we are going to hit Corridor H. And what Corridor H is a part of the Appalachian Development Highway System. It was envisioned in the 60s, and really what they wanted to do was bring, you know, access to those really rural areas of West Virginia. The construction started sometime in the 70s, but it it just kind of drug forever. It's still not finished to this day. I believe they just got permission within the last year or so to finish it. Basically, it comes, you know, from way down in West Virginia, and it was supposed to dump here in Virginia on our interstate system to make it easier for people to get to the cities, which, if they do finish it, it'll be really useful. But it's kind of, you know, like the road to nowhere is what some people call it, because it's literally a highway system out in the middle of nowhere. Just goes through the mountains, and people go out that way for vacation. There's a ski resort and stuff up there. So in the wintertime, you see a lot of people, you know, with Subarus and roof racks going out there to ski. But the first time I was ever on it, I was actually in a Ford Taurus. And I remember just driving up over the mountain thinking, this is like something out of a vacation movie. This is crazy. It's like Harry and the Hendersons. So what we're doing today is we're gonna go take a trip to the Pacific Northwest of the East, is what they call West Virginia. And we are going to Blackwater Falls State Park. We're gonna see if the tempo can hit the road and make that long journey. That was not me.
Wait, it's working.
Why are you walking faster? Wait, I'll just go this way then. My kid doesn't want to be on camera, but we made it to Blackwater Falls. And we're walking out. We did it. Success in the tempo. Mothman potato chips. It was a successful trip. My kid is cringing. It was a successful trip to Blackwater Falls in the tempo. Now we're on our way back home. We've got some Mothman potato chips and some waters. So we're just gonna cannonball back home. So get some going home. Well, the tempo pulled it off flawlessly. What is that? It's 88 miles one way, so about 170 something miles, 176 miles. Doesn't seem like a lot, but for a car that I've only driven 20 minutes at a time, it was quite the undertaking. It pings a lot, so I got to figure out what's going on there. And the temperature gauge never comes up off the first peg of cold, so I think it needs a good thermostat. Probably clean out the EGR and stuff like that. Maybe check the plugs, stuff like that, get it to stop spark knocking. But other than that, man, it was a great trip and it was a lot of fun. And I've edited up this video, and I'm going to hopefully upload it today. And I hope you guys enjoyed it, and anybody that especially has made it this far, I appreciate you watching. And I'll see you on the next one.
Why do people rate their snacks? Subscribe to my feet finder.
What's the name on Feet Finder?